Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've done a few lithium conversions to golf cars recently. I've mostly been club cars, but today we're going to put this DC house battery, 48 volts, 51.2 volts to 100 amp hours into a Yamaha. And this person was tired of putting water in their batteries and they needed new batteries anyway. So they wanted us to convert it over. So that's what we're gonna do. I took off the seat and just looking right now at what we have going on in here. Make sure it was in tow before you do anything. But it's pretty simple. You got four 12 volt batteries in series, makes 48 volts. These, looks like there's one Trojan battery and 3 of another type. These US 12 VRXs. We'll test them in a little while to see how healthy these batteries are, but you're going to be taking these 4 out, and you can see on the bottom there's a nice flat platform, so the new battery can go on. It looks like it's plastic as well, so you can put a hole in there and put some screws in to hold the battery down once it's in. They did have a different cart that had a big bar in the middle here, and I've seen where people actually do convert those to lithium by moving the bar over, but they actually bought this cart because it didn't have the bar, and I said yeah, it'd be much easier to do and I could actually do it. If you need me to move electronics, it's something that we leave for professionals, but to actually just remove the lead acid and put a lithium in and make sure everything's correct, that's simple enough that I could do that. So that's what we're doing today. So let me just double check everything's all set, and then we'll start removing these batteries. Okay, so I've looked things over, and just to go over what we have here. If you look in the far corner, I believe that is the negative battery. That goes to the motor. And over here is the positive battery. It goes to the motor as well. This guy here, if you follow that wire, goes to the charger. Negative goes over there. There's an extra cable over there because at one time this person needed a digital meter, so I hooked up the ignition to the negative of the battery, and we were able to get that done. So that's why there's an extra yellow wire there. But other than that, you can see positive to negative, positive to negative, positive to negative, and then like I said, so like I told you earlier, it's going to be pretty simple. So let's get to it. I'm going to remove these batteries and I'll come back. Okay, first step is to remove these brackets that are holding these batteries down. Gotta find a way to get it done fast. Once these are taken out, we're not going to need them again because these are only for individual batteries. Yamaha was nice enough to put this in here so that it'll hold the batteries down nice and tight. Oops, wrong way. Alright, let's just use this. Alright, here we go. Okay, it's out. So here we go, one bracket down. And I lost the washer. Alright. Alright, let's get this one out. Same mechanism. Just spin it until it pops out. Like I said, this is a Yamaha Actually done another Yamaha, but I didn't get a chance to video it. It was a much newer one. I believe this one is in the 2000s sometime, and the other one was like a 2016, I believe. So, different electronics, but same concept. Everything went in the same way. Just slightly newer, not as older as this one. Okay, let's see if this comes out yet. Keep going. Gotta keep turning. Alright. This one a little more. I guess it's just better to hold it. Got that one. Alright, and got this one. Voila. Alright, look at the poles. Looks like they just popped right out. It's just a little L bracket shaped thing. Here we go. Oh, it's a curve. Okay, we'll get the other one out and then we'll undo these batteries. Okay, I went ahead and removed most of the bolts from all the batteries. Except for this one, the last one. You can see I made a little collection here of bolts. And some of these batteries had lock washers. So let's go ahead and remove the cables now. Alright, there's 2 washers on this one. You gotta be careful not to drop them. There's one. The other one's stuck. There's the other one. Okay, so this one has a lock washer as well. Cut that off, and it goes all the way underneath the toe button here. So you just gotta pull that guy out. Okay, we have one over here. I believe I got the washer already. You got this one out. And I believe we're good. We're good. Okay, so here is the positive for the whole part. And the charger is right there. And on the other side, alright, where are we? Okay, we're right here. The negative for this one is right here. So that one will come out. And then here's the charger. And then here's the connector for the meter that I had to do 48 volts on the dashboard, but we don't need that anymore. Alright. I'll have to figure out what this is. Maybe lights? Looks like lights. Somebody did 12 volts for lights. We'll have to reconnect that. As you can see, they do, when there's 4 batteries, the easiest way without something to convert down from 48 volts to 12 is just to connect a 12 volt battery, and voila, you got lights. So that's what they did here. That's my guess, and for the horn and blinkers and all that. So we're going to do converter down from 48 to 12 and hook that back up. So we'll get to that in a minute. All right, let me take these out. Okay, the batteries are out. As you can see, we got our connector left over for lights. There's a negative for the motor, positives over there. That little yellow cable is for the meter on the dash, we'll look at after. Positive and negative over here are for the charging receptacle on this golf cart, which is going to be removed. And then there's another cable here that on another Yamaha I did, I just unplugged and it was fine. So we're going to do the same here and hope for the best. Okay, so I cleaned up the interior a little bit. One of the reasons why there was no lock washers in some of the batteries is because they fell at the bottom. Found them and got them. So we're going to unpack, well, the battery's unpacked, so we're going to figure out where it's going to fit and go from there. I'll be back. Okay, I made a judgment call here. Here's the steering wheel. That's the left side of the cart. That's where the passenger normally drives. I put the battery on this side. And the power connectors are in the middle mostly. But you see this giant hump here? I put the battery on one side on there, put the other here, so it's right on top of this hole, and it goes all the way across on this side, so it's nice and level. I'm gonna figure out how to secure it and go from there. One of the reasons I didn't center it is because there's this connector here that somebody just put right through the middle that I don't want to move. And I probably could just put it on top like this, but I like this idea to distribute the weight, driver, battery. So let's go with that. So let me figure out how to secure it, connect it, and be back. Okay, there were no brackets in this box. The last DC house build that I did came with brackets on each side, so you could screw it down into like a plastic bottom or like aluminum bottom, even a metal one. But this one did not come with any. It just had the connectors with the top. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to push it as far forward as I can. One of the reasons is there's a little gap down here. If you can see the floor down below there, you can see it there. There's a big gap. Do not want water on this thing, so I'm going to push it as far forward as I can. I found some brackets that I'm going to screw down, not into the battery at all, but into the ground, and hopefully that'll keep it from moving this way. And then on this side, I have a little bracket to hold it here so that this will not move and will stay put. So let me drill those holes, put those screws in, and see how it looks. I've got the bigger ones on the side, so I figured if you're driving around, I think that's where all the pressure is going to be. But like I said, I'm just going to put the screws at the bottom, push it up against the front as far as it'll go, so it'll keep it in place. And then this little guy will keep it from sliding that way. All right, let's do it. Okay, here we are. 2 screws on the bottom, none obviously on the battery because you do not want to drill into a battery. Just 2 on the bottom, and that L bracket's going to hold it. And I've been moving it, and it's not going anywhere. And I put 1 bracket in the front, so it's not going to go that way, and it's not going to go that way. So let's hook this up and go from there. Okay, so now we have an issue. If you can see this, this cable was the positive cable from the golf cart motor to here. We know that'll work, but since the negative was over here, it's not long enough. So what we're going to have to do is find one of the old cables that we used to have the 12-volt batteries in series. This is very long, and we're going to attach it here and extend it. So I have a screw and a bolt and a nut to hook that together, and then tape it shut and then extend it. You want something this heavy, this thick, because it's going to be a lot of amperage going through there, so you really need a thick wire. So this works out the best, and you don't have to change this cable out, you just have to extend it. So let me hook that up. Okay, we're back. As you can see, I extended this wire significantly by just putting in a bolt right here and a nut and tightening it down. Now I'm going to tape it up so that it doesn't touch anything, and then I extended this cable over to here, and it should reach to the battery right there. The DC house gave me these nice little connectors you can put over these, so once it's connected it should shield it from water, which is what you want. You don't want any water on these. So then we hook these up and let's see how it looks. Alright, negative battery is taped up and connected to the negative side. Positive is connected as well. Make sure you tighten them down. It's very important to have them tight, not over tightened, but snug, fairly snug. I connected the yellow wire because the yellow wire is actually the meter on the dash. So let's try this. Let's try to see if I get the dash to work at least. So you got to turn your battery on. So far so good. Forget we have the tow button here, so let's hit run. And let's take a look at dash, see if we can get to it. Let's see if Alright, let's turn the key. And 52 volts. Look at that. So, and I heard some clicking noises, so I know it should be ready to go. So I believe the battery install portion is complete. Now we need to worry about installing the meter that came with the DC house. It's a nice Bluetooth meter. And we have to replace the power receptacle and put in the charger in here so that we can charge from there. So let's get started on that. Here is the charger that came with the DC house battery. It was a combo of the 48 volt 18 amp charger, which is nice and fast if it does 18 amps. And it came with a meter. So this is the charger. So we're gonna pull this out. Oh, what's nice about this is it has connectors for your battery terminals, so it can be permanently attached and installed somewhere in the cart. More than likely we're gonna put it on this side somewhere, this empty space that's right here. Plug up the cable, and then we're gonna use that power adapter to go to the old power adapter. We're gonna take that out and put in a new one that just does regular 120. You'll see once we get to it. Okay, the charger is connected. You see a screw right around here. There's one, and kitty corner across the other side, there's the other one. And this isn't going anywhere. I laid it flat on the ground on this side. I'll hook up that connector to the new connector that I need to replace here. But first, I had to drill out this this panel that was here because there were rivets. And I watched the video online because I had no idea how to remove it. You know, you have to drill them out and replace it with screws or a bolt and a screw when you replace it, because you need access to these bolts right here to take this connector off. So let's get to it. Connector is removed. There were 4 screws in there holding that down. They look like these guys here. So needed a soccer wrench to get it out. But once you get it out, it popped off the back. Here's that connector that was connected to the bottom. Like I said, I've disconnected this before and haven't had any issues. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. All right, so I'm gonna put in the new power adapter. Let's see how it looks. Okay, here it is. There's the connector, the new connector. It's gonna be for house connector. Extension cord. They did have some holes in the side. What I had to do here is, in order for it to fit with the bracket that's behind it, that's specifically made for the Yamaha, I just put in some screws and bolts, and that is holding it. And I put some washers in to extend to the sides, so the washer comes out to here, so it's being held by this plastic here. This one here is actually through a hole because there was like a triangle shape here, and there was a hole, so that's actually being held on by the hole, but the other ones are being held up by washers. So if you can see, there's that bracket that you have to deal with. So there's my washers, there's my bolts, and that's my solution. And it's connected to the charger, and it should work. We'll try it in a second. Extension cord plugged into the wall. This is the other side. Plug it in. Oh, that's doing something. You can see the other side is connected to the battery. I hear it. It's lighting up on the side. And I guess it's charging. So, completed. Look at that. So far, so good. Okay, next step. The meter, I guess. Okay, we'll be back. Well, here's the meter that came with it. So I know I've done these before. And these will take any voltage. I mean, it'll take 12 volts, 48 volts, and I think it goes up to like 60, maybe more, I don't know. But what it is just a Bluetooth to the battery. and it'll tell you the state of charge, a percentage. But unfortunately, the last one I got had a bracket, the last battery I did for a different person, that you could stand it up somewhere. But this one looks like it's made for like a bicycle, like an e-bike or something. And it goes in here and then it loops to like a handlebar or something. So we cannot use this. So, because there is nothing to hook it to. So what I'm gonna do for now, I'm gonna double-sided tape, put it right here, and drill a hole in a cup holder and go down to the key switch. And I know I have negative because of that yellow that I had. So I'll do a key switch to this, through a screw hole in the cup holder, and then I will mount it here, so it'll be right there. Maybe back here, I'm not really sure. We'll see. Alright, and the Yamaha, it's one Allen wrench right here. You take this off and this whole thing is just clipped on. You can just pop it right off, so then you can have access to the wires. So like I said, the key has power going through it. There's two connectors to the key switch, and the switch just says on or not. See, they just got right on. So if you look, key switch is right there, and I already have the meter hooked up to it, so I can see it right there. There's the meter, and negative goes to that yellow wire right there. So I'm just gonna steal that power when it's keyed. When that meter goes on, I'll probably just connect it back here and steal power from that, and that'll make it easy. All right. Okay, the meter is going through a hole in the back where these golf balls go in the back of this. Goes down underneath this cup holder. And then, like I said, I'm stealing power from the meter because the meter only goes on when the key is turned. So when the key is turned, it'll go on. So I put it back and run from toe, and we're gonna try it. See what happens. Okay, there's the meter, and there's that Bluetooth connector thing from DC house. It's looking for the battery, shows you all these 8s. If it doesn't work, there's a button on the side. You get it to pair. Sorry about the glare. Just hit the button and it shut off. Okay, I think you're supposed to hold it down. Sorry about that. There, I'll lean it down. I don't give you very many directions. You just gotta learn it on your own. Alright. Come on, find the battery. 87%. Look at that. I believe that's it. I believe it is. Oh no. What's that say? 13 volts. Oh, I found another one of my batteries probably. Oh, it did. Okay, I can't do this here. I have other Bluetooth batteries that it found. So, pro tip, make sure you only have one Bluetooth battery in range of the meter before you start hitting the button to find it. So, I know it works, it's connected. I'm going to close this up and pair it when I'm away, when I'm doing a test drive. So, alright. Okay, we're back. I put it all back together again, put the Allen screw back in. You see the meter is over there with double-sided tape standing straight up. Seems to be okay, it's not moving too badly. When you turn the key, that comes on, and that comes on. So that's what you want. You don't want to kill the battery when the key is off. It is going to find my old battery, but I will move away, do a test drive, and reset it. Hopefully it'll just find that. So it's cool. Alright, here we go. We're outside. Everything seems to be working fine. Let's go for a test drive. Running over my grass. Okay. Nice, beautiful, cloudy day here in Florida. Alright, here we go. Okay, seems to be okay. but I think it was already soaked before I got it. Everything seems to be working fine. That motor's loud. Alright, we're going to head down here for a second. One thing I did notice, you do pick up a lot of power going to lithium. You lose a lot of weight getting rid of those 12-volt batteries. They're heavy. And when it comes to this lithium, which is much lighter and more voltage, as you see. It just gives that much more power to the motor and feels faster. And when you come down here, we're going to reset that here. Very nice view of the lake. Alright, let me grab you. Oh, it's hard to see, it's flashing. Okay, because it's, oh yeah, it's flashing because it's gone from that 12-volt battery it found. Hold down the big button on the side. Let go. It's going to restart. It's going to look for a Bluetooth battery. Hopefully it finds ours. Oh no. Oh, there it goes. 99%, 53 volts, 53.2 volts. Well, this one says 52.7, so I tend to believe this one. 99%. Let's go for a ride and make sure. There we go. Worst case, it found another lithium battery around here with Bluetooth. Hopefully not. Alright, it still says 53 volts, 99%. So I think it found it. Kind of surprised. Oh no, it's gone. Yep, found another one. Oh, great. Okay. Let's stop here. I don't see any parts. Alright. Let's try it again. Okay, it's blinking. You know, putting the battery in is the easiest thing. Oh, there it goes. 52.8 volts, which is closer to 52.6, 40%. Okay, I was surprised it was 99 because usually when they ship these, they come very low, like 30%. So if I had to charge for a little while, it should have gone up to 40. So I'm pretty confident that's correct. Let's just do a quick ride. So yeah, you're at the mercy when you hit that button. It's going to find any Bluetooth battery around. So 40% just needs to charge up a little bit, and that's why it's a much slower. So we're going to go for a little ride and drop it off at the customer's house. But I think it's a success. I'm very happy with how this came out. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, entertainment purposes only. I don't want you guys doing something that damage yourself or hurt yourself. So please be careful. You're dealing with 48 volts, 52 volts, and I was told 1 amp can kill a person. So this is dealing with a lot more. So be careful. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video.